It is an old farmhouse that was moved up from a farm in southern Alberta, southeast Alberta. So it's been sitting on this property for quite some time. What I know of it is that my grandparents purchased it in 1955 or 6. So they had a family with lots of kids. My mom was here. My mom was about 16 when she was here. My grandparents lived here their entire life and did some modifications to the house. I came here every summer as a child, so I have tons of great memories here. So now I'm here. It's been in the family. Again, my grandparents lived here until they passed away. My mom has lived here, obviously, not only as a teenager, but in later years. She stayed here for 3 years prior to me moving in, and my husband. My cousin had lived in here for a couple of years, so it's always been family in here since that 1955 or 6. So it's a family home, and I think these hauntings are family hauntings, just family moving about the house. So that is a bit of the history of this old farmhouse. So one of the things that happened in the house was one Easter, just over a year ago, it was the Easter last year. My husband and I were standing here at the cupboard. I had a big roaster up here, an electric roaster. Our turkey was cooking in there, or ham, whatever it was, and we were talking about it facing this window. And we heard this funny sound over this way. I looked at him and he looked at me, and I was like, what is that? Is that, like, I thought it was a bird pecking the house or something. It's kind of a strange sound, but it wasn't really a bird. You knew it wasn't a bird, but it was the only kind of logic explanation that you could come up with. But then I turned to him, and when I really turned to him and I went to look like out the window, which is over there, to see is there like a bird at the window, this is what I noticed over this way. I looked out this window, but what I seen was this going on, like swinging, just like that. I do have a little bit of film from that when that happened, but this was the sound. That's exactly what we heard. 100%. It was like someone was trying to get these off of here, and then when I turned, they let go or whatever, and they swang. But there was nobody in this kitchen. This is the door to the cellar over here. There's nobody over here. It was just my husband in the kitchen. What we discovered that day, a little bit later, when we went to go and take, probably a couple hours later, when we went to go and lift that ham out of that roaster, my husband came on over to get the oven mitts, which are always hanging here. And I will tell you, you see how they're just hanging here? This oven mitt was twisted to beyond unbelievable. Like, it was like twisted like this. Now, I do have grandkids, but they're this little. Nobody was in the kitchen because it's kind of limits are off the kitchen when we're doing that kind of cooking. Nobody was in here, and it wouldn't make any sense for anyone of the kids to come in here and decide to spin up this oven mitt. So we went to take it off, and it was just this big, it was spun really crazy like that. So same day that this happened. So somebody was in this corner of the kitchen. So one of the other things that happened here shortly after we moved here, I was at work, my husband was home alone. He was up in the storage room digging around for something, and only one in the house, and he heard somebody say Carol really loud, like right beside his ear, like they were right in that storage room with him. Freaked him out so much. He came downstairs, he called me to tell me about it, which my husband is the biggest skeptic in the world. He does not believe in ghosts. He tries to explain everything away. This one, not so easy. So it was kind of interesting that he called me to tell me about this. So we can go up to the storage room and kind of see where that all happened. We're going to go upstairs, right on up here. So here we are at the top of the stairs. Storage room is right here. No door or anything on it. We just came up the stairs there. He was in here. There's no electricity in this room. There's no actual light in here, so I just have a battery powered light for now, but lots of storage in here. This is where he was. He was digging around, and right behind him here he had heard someone say Carol. And so I'd asked him what the voice sounded like because I was really curious, and he said that it sounded like my aunt's voice, my Auntie Carol's voice, and my Auntie Carol sounds just like her mom, who is my grandma. So being as this was my grandma's house, and Auntie Carol grew up here in this house, I believe that was my grandma for sure, calling out for Carol for something. But she was in this storage room with my husband that day, I'm sure of it. When I was talking to you on the phone this morning, there was creaking upstairs on the floor, and I had been hearing that quite often, but I know that I do hear it when the one cat that we have, who's quite huge, when he comes upstairs and he walks across the floor really creaks under his weight. I've heard that a lot lately, and my assumption is that it's always been him up here. But this morning I had to think about that because I heard it creaking up here exactly like when I think he's up here. But he was laying on the bed with us, as well as the other cat that I have was also on the bed with us. So the creaking was actually happening upstairs today, and when I was talking to you on the phone, I was trying to interrupt you to say I can hear, but we were talking about something, and then we never got back around to it. But that did just happen this morning. So yeah, this floor's pretty creaky, like even just right there. Just walk over, you can hear that. Well, since we were actually filming the creaky floor up here, I can't resist mentioning the best collection in the world that I have up here. If you want to have a little look at this wall, and maybe around the room, this is my Kiss collection. You name it, I've got it. There's records, there's Hello Kitty, there's Kiss Cruise, there's lighters, candles, everything. Everything. We've got all the dolls everywhere. Got mannequins, Kiss hats, socks, gnomes, Jack in the Box, glasses, potato heads, books, puzzles. I mean, everything behind you. I got Kiss, Paul Stanley guitars. I've got signed drum heads. I've got masks, cards, lighters, posters. Haven't been opened from the 70s. That's the 80s actually. That's a Dynasty poster. This whole collection here. We've got DVDs, CDs, pop, Kiss Love Gun out of the album. We've got ornaments, big Slurpee cups, you name it. Jean mugs, keychains, drumsticks, jewelry, just everything. Dolls that play, bobbleheads, just you name it. I even got the Kiss teddy bears here. Look at this, from the Dynasty collection. We've got Paul there. We've got another one down here. Lots of cool stuff. Anyways, I had to tell you that. And there's lots of stuff here too. But that was just a side note. Has absolutely nothing to do with ghosts. It's just cool. So, this is the bathroom. Don't mind, just in case you don't know what room this is, check the door. This is the bathroom. It's not a very big bathroom. Got a little sink here. So this is where I was brushing my teeth, doing my hair, whatever, one morning. And I heard something, well, something did fall on the floor. And I do have a lot of things in here. I do have quite a good collection here of, you know, we've got shaving stuff, old bottles of things, iodine, and, you know, lots of kind of cool stuff, some really old keys. And up here, I have another big old cold cream bottles and such, and lots of cool stuff down here too. So I thought, well, what actually fell? This little brush that is sitting exactly where it had sat for almost 1 year was on the floor. So how did that fall? I don't know. But it was down on the floor, right down on here on the floor. So I turned around and it was like, what the heck? How did that fall off of there? I mean, I was the only one at home. It was 5:30 in the morning, getting ready to drive into work. There was no cat in the bathroom, and even if there was a cat in the bathroom, he would not be up there. So probably about 7-8 months later or so, whatever it was, same thing, in here early in the morning, something falls again. This time it was something in the tub fell. So tub, it's an old tub, it's an old house like I was saying. So back here, old tubs around. Back in that corner you can see that plug up there. That plug has been there forever. It's to plug the bathtub because it's an old tub. Nobody's had a bath in this tub for like probably 2 years. We just always shower. That sits there unless I'm cleaning. I hadn't cleaned in, it's probably been, honestly, probably a month since I cleaned out the shower. But that plug, otherwise that plug never moves. So I don't know, and I had not had a shower, nothing. So I do not know how that plug just ended up in the middle of the tub, just early one morning. So I don't know, another weird thing in the bathroom here. So over Christmas, my oldest son came down for the holidays, as he always does. And he usually stays 2-3 weeks or so, hangs out. One day, he decided to do a little cleaning up, a little vacuuming, and So he thought that one of the things that he did do is he came to the porch here, and I have mats on the floor here. He had taken them off. He tossed them outside the door to shake them off. He was vacuuming, sweeping the floor in here, and he brought the mats back in, laid them back down, and then he went into the bathroom here, because he was washing something in here too. He came in here. Oh, he was sweeping the floor in here. He came in the bathroom here, sweeping the floor here. Came out, looked over at the mat that he just, like, probably 5 minutes later had laid down on the floor, and this is what he's seen. This is an old rusty bullet, and where he seen it was over here. It was laying right here on this mat, and when he first seen it, and he said he spent some time with that mat because it has that underlay so it doesn't slide, and he said he was trying to put the mat straight and the underlay straight. Like, it's not like he just laid it down and walked away. Like, he spent some time getting it straight and laying flat. There was nothing on that mat when he came in here to sweep the bathroom floor. So somehow when he came back, there it was. So what I was thinking, how it makes a connection to this house, because that's kind of random. Where did a bullet come from? Well, any way you look at that, that is random. But my family were hunters and trappers. And so with them being big hunters and trappers, they had a lot of rifles, they had a lot of ammunition and such. And in this cabinet here with the key, is where he locked up his guns. His big rifles were always in here, and his bullets always sat on the shelf in here. So that bullet was not very far from here. Yeah. Not sure how it actually got there. I've never seen it in my life. And at this point in the game, I've been here for 5 years, and I've cleaned all areas of this house multiple times. I've never ever seen that bullet. So that was weird.